Alienware has gone through a major change this year if you haven't noticed already, especially with their laptops. It wasn't done secretly, but a lot of people are confused, and while there are a whole host of Reddit posts and videos trying to explain it, I decided to take my chances and create one myself, so that there's one on YouTube as well, because you need to know the changes Alienware has made to its model lineup, or else you'll end up buying the wrong Alienware laptop. Anyways, this is a short video, so welcome to my channel, and don't forget to subscribe if you found this helpful. We will start with January 2021 cause at the start of this year, Alienware, like most other brands, switched to the RTX 30 series laptop GPUs while sticking with the 10th gen Intel processors. At that time, I think it was Asus ROG which was the only large market outlier that went AMD. Thus, you had the M15 R4 and the M17 R4, and with the Area 51 discontinued, these were the flagships of the entire Alienware gaming range. Considering the 15-inch has less cooling capability than the 17-inch, the RTX 3080 is an 8GB 140W variant instead of the 16GB 165W variant in the M17, and the M17 got a 360Hz Full HD G-Sync compatible display instead of the 144Hz or the 300Hz display with no G-Sync in the M15. Apart from these major differences, both these laptops were pretty much the same performance-wise, and the point you have to note is they were one of the few laptops with the 10th gen Intel processors that performed really well without thermal throttling, which was an issue with the 10th gen Intel processors. I mean, they did pretty much turn into frying pans for that case, and the RAM is soldered in, for some reason. Sources for benchmarks and review links are in the description if you don't trust me yet, and unfortunately I can only do this with the specs for now, but if you don't forget to subscribe, it will improve my chances to bring you guys my own benchmarks and hands-on reviews to back the claims I make, instead of relying on other sources, for images and footages as well. So hit that big red button before continuing. Anyways, by April, Alienware was gearing up to release its X series laptops, thus it decided to move the M15s downwards, and well, it seems like a whole bunch of customers still did not get the memo, hence this video. They started it slyly with the Ryzen Edition M15 R5, and the two biggest changes among other small ones is the GPU TGP that dropped to 125 watts with Dynamic Boost 2.0 for the entire range, and the removal of vapor cooling. To be fair, the more power efficient AMD CPU can get away with it, but it's the GPU that rings alarm bells, as the R4 models of both M17 and M15 both could run the RTX 3070 to 140 watts and the RTX 3060 to 130 watts. If you're wondering about the RTX 3080, well, that's not an option anymore. The R5 does get upgradable RAM slots now though, but that's just a rectification from the previous model's complaints. Next came the M15 R6 with the 11th gen Intel processors. And you do get the RTX 3080 now, but it gets the same 125W GPU limit instead of the R4's 140W. Now this bump down in performance laid the foundation for the X17 and X15, which had that cool Element 31 cooling, which was marketed quite a lot for the CPU, and was some of the thinnest laptops you can get. The X17 was pretty much the successor to the M17 R4. I'm saying successor because we still have no news on the M17 R6. Maybe it's coming, maybe it's not, I don't know. But for now, it looks like the X17 is going to replace the M17. And I say that because the X17 has the max TGP GPUs, so 164W RTX 3080 and 140W RTX 3070 and so on. And also the top of the range i9-11980HK CPU as well. The X17 meanwhile is more of a upper sideways move, thus basically a M15 R6 that's much more portable, and in fact no other laptop can be this portable and perform this well. Well, at least specs wise. I mean, there are some issues when it comes to thermals when others have reviewed it, so I'm not sure about that. You'll have to look at other reviews. I've linked some reviews in the description so you can check that out. Anyways, its GPU has a lower TGP, it's got an i9-11900H, and that thin chassis means it's soldered RAM. So yeah, there you have it. This is how the new Alienware model lineup looks like, and I believe I've illustrated it well here, as you can see. Now, Alienware is taking advantage of the changing lineup by not changing the prices, but at some point it will be adjusted as the M15 is bumped down in performance, and people will start to realize it slowly. Anyways, that's just an extra bit of information that you might need. A hands-on review done by myself would be great, I mean especially to compare the R6 with the R4 and the R5 and the X15. But with 135 subs, they ain't giving me a test piece. So boost that sub count if you're interested in this and want a hands-on version with benchmarks and stuff. Also tap the bell and I will be back.